Hello, and welcome to my thoughts while standing in the queue. The other day, I was thinking about all the young men who live with their parents until they are old men. And I'm reminded of the story of a 55-year-old man who was given a curfew for a drug offense, and he begged the judge to please give him a fine instead because he couldn't bear having to stay in the house with his mother for any length of time. I know the feeling. I had a mother like that. And when I finally realized that my mother's greatest joy was reminding me of what a mess I am, and she's probably right, but just the same, I decided that the only way I would save what sanity I had left was to move out. I scoured the want ads and I found 2166 Alvin Street. It was 2 flights below street level, and it was covered with mold, and it stunk to high heaven, as did I when I moved in. I was 26 years old. This was after both my divorces, and I had given all my furniture from those marriages to my mother. And when I was going to leave and move into 2166 Alvin, I asked her for the furniture back, and she said, well, you can't have it because it's mine now. Now, you will think to yourself, why didn't she have the courage to stand up to her mother and say, no, that furniture is mine? But let me remind you that Anne Boleyn didn't say to Henry VIII, don't you dare cut my head off, because he was boss. Well, so was my mother. So I went to a used furniture place, and I bought a bureau that was really meant to store linens, a bed, and a lamp. I convinced a boyfriend who didn't know that our romance was about to end to help me cart all these possessions plus my clothes down the 2 flights of stairs into my damp apartment. And when we got in there, the odor was so bad that he gasped, I'll call you later, and left before I had a chance to tell him that I needed him to take me out for dinner because I hadn't had any money left for groceries. After I managed to clean up all the puddles on the floor and make the windows so I could actually see out them, you had to look up through a grate and get everything in order, I called my darling Aunt Hazel. I kept her on the phone for 45 minutes telling her all the details of my moving into the house. And after 45 minutes, she said to me, well, I think I better hang up now. I've got to make Uncle Jack his dinner. And I said, oh. I said, what are you having? She said, well, I think we'll have roast beef and potatoes, and I'll make some green beans if I can get your Uncle Jack to eat one of them. He won't touch a vegetable, which is why he smokes all those cigars. And then I'll make a big salad, but I'll be the only one that'll eat it. And for dessert, I'll have apple pie. A la mode, of course. Oh my God, I said, that sounds wonderful. She said, yeah, so what are you making as a celebratory dinner for your very first day in your very own house? And I said, well, I'm not eating dinner tonight because I didn't have enough money for groceries. And my aunt said, predictably, because I know her very well, sweetheart, you get in that car and you come right over to my house. I need someone to help get rid of this big salad. And I did. When I got to her house and after we finished eating, my aunt, who had lived with my mother for 18 years, said to me, why did you leave your mother's house? It was so much cheaper. And I said, listen, you lasted 18 years in her house. I lasted 26. I don't understand how Daddy takes it. Your father is deaf, said Aunt Hazel. And would you like me to toast some almonds to have with those green beans? You know, that man that was stuck with his mother was 55 years old, and if he didn't have the intelligence to call my Aunt Hazel, he deserves to live with his mother and suffer, because my Aunt Hazel would have invited him over for dinner in a trice, especially if he liked green beans. And thank you so much for joining me, my thoughts while standing in the queue.